Hello again, beautiful beings of light. Wow. For the past hour, my whole body has been feeling incredible tingles, incredible vibrations, like literally shaking over here. And the reason why is because of how powerful this video is. A lot of you have asked me for this video for quite some time, and this is it. This is the time, right? This is the time to dig deep and really expand and unlock and open up who you really are. And I am so excited to give you these activations today. And that's exactly what they are. They're activations. So I did say this in the description, but I'll say it again. If you have a hard time opening your mind, and if you have a hard time believing in aliens or other life, this video may not be the one for you, okay? If you're ready for the next step, if you're ready for the next level vibrationally, if you're ready to open up and expand and unlock your DNA, this video is absolutely for you. What I would recommend is actually just sitting back and taking all of this information in, and then maybe replaying it later on and taking notes. Allow your soul to just open up to the information in this video. And if maybe you're a skeptic, or maybe you do have a closed mind and you're here for a reason, okay? So keep that in mind as well. This is going to be a really expanding and unlocking video, and my intention for each and every one of you is to help you not only understand yourself as a hybrid, but also to help you literally, physically unlock your hybrid DNA. Because at the end of the day, I believe that each and every one of us are a hybrid in one way or another. So, let's get into it. Also, have it be noted that my my shirt literally says alien, and I'm loving it. All right. Before we deep dive, I want to say a couple of things. First of all, super divine timing that my Gaia interview is released today, May 18th, Gaia interview released. If you have a Gaia subscription, check it out. It's on the channel Interviews with Ed, Interviews with Extra Dimensionals. I have 3 hours of content, and guys, this is never before released content. I'm channeling a future 12th dimensional mantis self of mine named Khan, and I am channeling a past life tall gray ambassador self of mine named Hira. It's literally mind-blowing, so please check it out. If you don't have a Gaia subscription, this is the perfect time to get it, and I've got an affiliate link below. So if you're thinking about, signing up, definitely check that out. And wow, thank you so much, Lauren, for that beautiful super chat. Really super appreciated. As always, guys, donations, super chats, especially if this information resonates with you, always really appreciated. Last but not least, a lot of you have been asking me where I get my beautiful malas. I swear I wear them every day, especially for videos like this. So you can check out this beautiful company. It's owned and operated by, a family, a wife and husband, and they're really incredible people. And it's called Lily Rose Jewelry. So check that out in the comments below. And in the live chat as well, my beautiful assistant Lauren will be posting that. Awesome. All right. So let's dive into it. First, I'm going to be talking about the different hybrids. I need you to understand what kind of hybrid you are to begin with, and you could be all 3, right? So there's 3 main different hybrids that I'm going to be identifying today, and then I'm going to go into 6, I think, 6 different species, okay? So, of course, I can't touch upon every single species today. I do want to put out a disclaimer to say that everything in this video is channeled straight from the source. I, at this point, have had tens of thousands of different clients. Every single client I have, I channel their interdimensional connections. Oh my goodness, Leon, thank you so much. That's a really beautiful and very generous super chat. I really appreciate that. So I'm going to be talking about, the main species that we've been in contact with since the beginning, since the dawning of humanity. Okay, so let's just kind of dive into it. There are 3 different types of hybrids out there. Okay, so every single human I believe, is a hybrid in one way or another. At the end of the day, we've all been genetically modified since the beginning of humanity, going from, Neanderthal, cavemen, apes, and that missing link, I believe, is interdimensional contact, right? And I believe that because I've remote viewed it, I've channeled it, I have gone back in time to personally witness it. So, first of all, we need to understand the hybrids. Then we're going to get into the different species and the different traits that you will have as each of these species. Okay. The first type of hybrid is the most common hybrid out there, and I like to call it a physical hybrid, okay? So I call it a physical hybrid. So basically, I've got all my notes here, it's like insane. So first of all, being a physical hybrid means that you actually have physical DNA within you, from other interdimensional beings, okay? A physical hybrid kind of speaks for itself. So I'll kind of tell you, if you are a physical hybrid, and first of all, once again, every single human on this planet is a physical hybrid. We wouldn't be bipedal, is that what it's called? We wouldn't be walking straight upright. We would probably be hunched over. Our foreheads would be protruded. There's a lot of different traits that we would have or wouldn't have if we weren't genetically modified by interdimensionals. Okay, so first of all, everyone's a physical hybrid, but there are absolutely cases of extra hybrid DNA, extra interdimensional DNA being injected in you as a child at birth, in the womb, in utero. Okay, so that's possible as well. Also, please keep in mind that some bloodlines and some family lines out there in the world have higher than normal interdimensional DNAs. So, of course, you guys, most of you saw my reptilian video. I just want to let you know that, keep it in the family. The royal family has extremely higher than normal reptilian DNA within it, but we're going to talk all about being a reptilian hybrid and Palladian hybrid and all of that great stuff. So first of all, everyone's a physical hybrid, but some people have larger than normal DNA from extraterrestrials and interdimensionals, okay? If you have extra physical DNA from interdimensional beings, there's a couple of things that are going to cue you off into being a physical hybrid. The first thing is odd bodily abilities, okay? If you have weird or strange physical abilities, that you most likely have, higher than normal interdimensional DNA. So opposable limbs, I think that's what it's called. I was trying to think of the name of it. I think there's probably another name, but when you can stretch your limbs in different directions and you've got different, I don't think opposable is the right word. Anyway, so that's, a trait. When you're super strong, abnormally strong, right? That's definitely another trait as well. I was doing handstands, my parents said that I was doing I was walking on my hands more as a kid, than I was on my feet at some point. Doesn't mean that I'm a hybrid, but, it's just interesting. Also, keep in mind, high IQ. Having a very high IQ is a pretty good example of being a physical hybrid. Also, your body shape. Some people who are abnormally small, abnormally large, these can all very well be traits of being a physical hybrid. And it's so wild because I'm literally getting the craziest deja vu right now. And I think I saw that moment 6 months ago. And I was like, where am I? What is this background, right? I had no idea I was going to be in the desert. Okay, anyway, besides the point. The second type of hybrid that you can be, I call it, once again, I'm making my own names up for these things. I call it a super hybrid, okay? And the reason why I call it a super hybrid, and another name for it would be energetic hybrid. And the reason why I call it a super hybrid is because it's a state of superposition, okay? So what a state of superposition means is that you are in the current moment existing as your current human being, and simultaneously you are existing out there in the universe as some other interdimensional being. Okay, it's called superposition. It's a state of being in two places at the same time. I call it being a super hybrid. It's a pretty cool name. Yeah, so you're existing in two states simultaneously. Typically, people who are super hybrids in a superposition are typically very dizzy or lightheaded. You get very fainty very often, low blood pressure. Typically, you're very out of body most of the time because you are in this state of superposition. You are not only existing as a human being, but you're also existing as another being out there in the universe. Obviously, as a superposition hybrid, really as any hybrid, you feel like you're not exactly from here. This doesn't feel home to you. Also, as a super hybrid or superposition or energetic hybrid, you have moments of waking up. This is really interesting. So it won't happen too often, but every once in a while, you'll like come back in your body and you're like, oh, this is interesting. Oh, this is cool. Oh, wow, look at my hands, right? Or look at my feet. That's weird, right? So you have these moments of waking up in your body, even though you've always just been in this body, right? So that's because you've been out of body very often. Also, super hybrids get loss of memory. Like if I asked you, what did you eat last night for dinner? You're like, I don't know, because you weren't really here in the moment in your body, okay? So please be aware of that. One other very interesting aspect of being a super hybrid, okay, a superposition hybrid is you're a shapeshifter. This is very interesting. Now, most of the time, we associate the name shapeshifter or the label shapeshifter into reptilian, right? Being a reptilian shapeshifter. It doesn't always have to be a reptilian shapeshifter. And the coolest thing is that recently, a lot of you have told me that you've been seeing my alien side come out in my videos. And I don't even know what you mean by that, but I kind of know, because just a personal story really quickly is years ago, it was back in 2013, I think, that it first happened. And I had a bunch of university friends come over to my apartment at the time. And I was sitting there and we were all in a circle and I was channeling. I was teaching this small group of people and I was talking about my insights and my visuals and my astral traveling. And this wasn't necessarily to a group of spiritual people, just my friends. I guess they were spiritual. And all of a sudden, this girl, who was literally just the girlfriend of one of my friends who came over, she starts crying. And, the circle breaks up and we, take a walk outside. And she pulls me aside in the hallway and she's bawling. And I said, Andrea, what's wrong? What's the matter? Are you okay? And she says, I think I just saw you. And I said, well, what do you mean? And she said, but when you were sitting there and you were talking and teaching us, all of a sudden your hair went away and your neck got really long and your skin turned this bluish gray and you literally turned into an alien. And I started crying at that time because it was the first time ever that anyone had ever really seen my true self, right? And this was just a girl who was brought into this group, right? So if you want to unsubscribe because you think I'm some weird shape-shifting, tall gray being, you can unsubscribe because of that. But that's really who I am. And ever since then, I've had friends of mine, completely sober, right? I have to say that, literally see me as really who I am, which is wild to me because I've always known this physical body. It's really interesting that people can break through the matrix. And that's what I kind of attribute it to, right? People breaking through the matrix, lifting the veil of Elizabeth April and really seeing my true self. So I think that was really interesting. I had to share that with you. Okay, cool. So far we have physical hybrid, we have super hybrid, and then the third type of hybrid that you can be, I call I guess in general, it's called a walk-in, okay? A walk-in hybrid. This is the hybridization that I don't know too much about because I haven't really ever experienced it myself. So basically what a walk-in hybrid is sharing the same container with an interdimensional being. Sometimes with a walk-in hybrid, your soul leaves your body altogether, and a new soul or an interdimensional soul steps into the body, right? That's the kind of hybridization. Sometimes this one physical vessel is shared between two souls, right? The interdimensional soul and the human soul. I truly believe that the soul or the being who comes into the physical body is really just another representation of yourself somewhere in another dimension, right? I believe that, but honestly, because I haven't had the experience, I don't really know much about it. So what you're going to feel existing as a walk-in hybrid is you're going to feel like you are existing as that being. It's not a momentary thing. It's like you literally feel like an alien walking around in a human suit. Also, you'll feel very excited, right? When the walk-in moment or the walk-in experience happens, sometimes it happens through a trauma, sometimes it happens through psychosis, sometimes it happens when you have a drug experience and you just leave your body and something comes in. This can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing, right? Depending on what it is coming in. Every single time, no matter be good or bad, perceivably, it is contractual, right? You contracted that thing to step into your body. So keep that in mind. Also, like, you will feel like you're discovering new aspects of this reality. You will still keep all of your human memories, which I think is interesting. That's why it's hard to determine if you're a walk-in hybrid or not. Like I said, sometimes your soul will walk out and a new soul will enter, and sometimes you actually share the space, the container. Trans-channeling, which is basically what Bashar or Dale Anka does, and a lot of other channelers do, which is they allow an interdimensional being to step into their body momentarily. They don't remember what is said when the interdimensional steps through, and that's a version of a walk-in, but it's almost like a temporary version of a walk-in, if that makes sense. So your personality will change, and also your abilities will abruptly change as well when this walk-in steps in. So once again, the 3 different types of hybrids, and I want to ask you, what kind of hybrid do you think you are? I really truly believe that all of us are physical hybrids because we've all had our DNA spliced and recreated and manipulated by interdimensionals. But what kind of hybrid do you most resonate with? The physical hybrid, where you've got physical attributes and weird things with your body. A super hybrid, right? The superposition hybrid, where you are simultaneously existing out there as an interdimensional while you're simultaneously existing here. Or a walk-in hybrid, where you're kind of sharing the same container. Personally, I believe that you can probably be all 3 if you wanted to be all 3. I think it'd be a little hectic if you were all 3. I think for me, I most resonate with the super hybrid, right? The superposition. I discover new aspects of my interdimensional selves all the time, and I think that it's very interesting. Okay, cool. So that being said, let's go into the different species. So I'm going to talk about how many species here? 6. Yeah, I've got 6 species. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about reptilian hybrids, gray hybrids, Palladian hybrids, Anunnaki hybrids, elemental hybrids, and angelic hybrids. I'll tell you that, obviously this is not touching upon all of the different hybrids that are out there. I'm really missing out on a lot of good ones, but I don't have time to go into every single hybrid. And these are the 6 species that I know for sure have had a big role in splicing their DNA with our DNA throughout human history. So I know for a fact that each one of you have elements of these beings, and it is up to you, based on this video, to determine which one of these species you most resonate with and who you believe you are divinely connected to. Then you can go off and do your own research and work with your intuition and really kind of deep dive into how you can connect. That being said, I am going to release a video this Thursday to my memberships, my membership, on YouTube, talking all about how to connect to your hybrid self. So if you want to kind of go to the deeper level or the next step in this of, okay, cool, now I'm connected to the Anunnaki, but what's next? If you want to go to that next step, then check out the membership program. Even if it's just for a month, just for that video, check it out. Okay. Before I dive into all of these different species and the different traits and personality traits and abilities that you would have as this different being, I want to just give you some honorable mentions, some beings that I'm not going to talk about, but I think I just want to mention, all right? I call them honorable mentions. All right. The Lyrans. So many Lyrans on this planet, but we're going to leave it at that. Blue Avians, Octurians, Sirians, Andromedans, Orions, and Essassani. I believe all of those beings are very powerful and they're very dominant on this planet. But like I said, I don't have enough time to go into all of them, okay? All right, so like I said, I'm not going to talk too much about the species itself. I'm going to talk more about the different traits that you as a hybrid being are going to have if you are connected to this species, if that makes sense. Please let go of the words, let go of the verbiage, and really allow your soul to listen. Just take it in at a vibrational level. If it resonates, you'll feel it. If it doesn't, then it'll feel pretty neutral and kind of just some cool information, if that makes sense, okay? And let me know. If you hear one of these species that really resonates with you, comment in the comment below, right? And the live chat, I really like that. Okay, so the first one that I'm going to start off with, which is Anunnaki, okay? The Anunnaki hybrids. Once again, if you've never heard about them, but you resonate with the description of the hybrids, please do your own research and check out who they are. We've got someone walking in the background. All right, so if you are an Anunnaki hybrid, these are the traits and the qualities that you're going to have within yourself, okay? So you're most likely going to be a very dominant personality, potentially very a loud person, okay, just in general. There's no better or worse. As an Anunnaki hybrid, you're going to be a natural leader. You're going to want to take the lead. You're going to want to be in control. Also, if you're an Anunnaki hybrid, you are going to probably hold some guilt from the past, right? There's going to be something in you that feels like, why do I feel bad about my history? Why do I feel bad about the past? Okay. Typically, physically, Anunnaki hybrids are very big. Like really, they're the giant humans, right? So really big bodies, typically very tall, different hybrids. Anunnaki hybrids are also very masculine and very dominant, right? This very dominant energy. Doesn't mean that they have to be a negative energy just because they're dominant, right? So just keep that in mind. Anunnaki hybrids are typically very much so the provider and the protector of a family dynamic. Anunnaki hybrids are very connected to sacred geometry. Also, Anunnaki hybrids are always, not always, I can't say always for anything, but really, really obsessed with hidden information. So digging deep into scripture, digging deep into, the Mayan timelines or ancient Egypt or what have you. But Anunnaki hybrids are typically knowledge seekers. They're always looking to gain access to more and more knowledge. They love knowledge and information. Also, typically Anunnaki hybrids are very drawn to ancient Egypt and ancient Greece. This is when they kind of ruled during humanity and on this planet, ancient Egypt and ancient Greece. Okay, so that's the Anunnaki hybrids. Typically, those are the majority of the traits that I've channeled and I've observed from other clients and other people who are connected to the Anunnaki. Okay, I wasn't going to put this species in there, but literally I was writing this up and last minute something told me, you have to include the elementals. So I included the elementals. This is not one that it's not that I don't resonate with them, it's just I don't really think about them too much as an interdimensional species, but they are. They're a fourth dimensional species, the elemental realm. Literally, I equate the elemental realm and the elemental planets looking very similar to Avatar, right? The movie The Avatar, very similar to that. If you are an elemental hybrid, and I'll tell you that, typically elementals are fairies, Bigfoot, mermaid, elves, unicorns. That's the elemental realm that I'm talking about. Typically, if you're an elemental hybrid, you are very divine feminine. You're typically very floaty, very aloof. You just want to be in nature. All you want is nature, obsessed with the elements, earth, water, air, fire, obsessed with, once again, things like fairies, Bigfoot, mermaid, elves, unicorns, anything that's kind of this fantasy land, very drawn to fairy tales. You are an earth lover, and most likely you are an environmentalist, and you really stand up for the earth and nature and the oceans and are very connected to that realm. And typically elemental hybrids are very loving and very peaceful, and I've met a ton of elemental hybrids, little fairy human beings on the planet, and they're so lovely. I love them. They're usually very giddy, very outgoing, very bubbly as well. Elemental hybrids are a very lovely type of hybrid out there in the world. Okay, let's move to angels, angelic hybrids. And I always like to say this, but I'll say it again. Regardless of your belief system, okay, angels do indeed exist. I know that they've been really rooted in religion back in the day, but they are a thing. They do exist. Okay, so if you're an angelic hybrid, you are typically very divine feminine, but even if you're a man, you've got a softer side to you. You've got a softer energy, okay? Angels, angelic hybrids love music. They love singing. There's something about angels and singing, even if it's no words, it's just the harmony, the frequencies of singing is so connected to the angels. Angels, oh my goodness, I've met so many of them, and I feel so bad for them because they are extremely innocent. Angelic hybrids on this planet, right? Human angelic hybrids are extremely innocent, very naive, right? And very often, and angels on this planet are taken advantage of because they just see the beauty and the love in everyone, and they're really naive that way, okay? Angelic hybrids are always in service to others. They're natural healers. They very gravitate towards that. They're empathic, but they're way too empathic, okay? Angelic hybrids always sacrifice themselves, always, to the point of being a fault. I consider angelic hybrids messengers from the cosmos, and they're really connected to crystals. And it's very difficult for earth angels, that's what I call them, earth angels to have a job, right? Then a 9-to-5 job. And the reason why earth angels have a difficult time having a 9-to-5 job is because they're way too sensitive. They take everything personally. They take on way too much from their boss or their coworkers, and it's too much for them. Angelic hybrids or earth angels are very passive, very optimistic, and every time I tap into the frequency or the energy of an earth angel, it literally feels like a warm hug. That's what I feel. I'm like, ooh, thank you for that. And they're like, what? What do you mean? I'm like, oh, you just hugged me with your energy. That felt nice, So that's earth angels. I'm sure either you are one or you know of one in your life, but that innocence and that naivety is the main components of an earth angel. And sometimes I just roll my eyes because I'm like, stand up for yourself. You can do it. You're here for a reason. You're not just here to give, right? So, okay, cool. Moving right along. I hope all of you are resonating with this so far. And like I said, even if you're just an energetic hybrid, which a lot of us are, right? It just means that you are a starseed. You're connected to the cosmos. You're connected to different species out there in the universe, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. Okay, so let's go over to the reptilian hybrids. First of all, we all have a reptilian brain, right? And I know I just did a video on this, but this is important. So specifically, I'm going to be talking about the bad, okay? I don't even want to say bad, good or bad, but the more negative reptilian hybrids. And once again, most of you will probably have encountered one of these people in your life before, okay? And it's okay if you're like, oh shit, I resonate with being a reptilian hybrid. That's okay too, all right? No sweat off your back. Just relax in that, it's totally fine. Okay, so typically human beings who have higher than normal reptilian DNA, of course, we all have the reptilian brain, right? So we all have that fight and flight mechanism, but ones that have higher than normal reptilian DNA or resonate, with that reptilian species, typically they are very manipulative, very controlling, even without knowing that they're manipulating and controlling. Typically, reptilian hybrids are very much so a fight or flight mechanism, right? It's like they're always ready to either run or fight, but typically it's fighting. Okay. And then reptilian hybrids typically like small, dark places, right? They're used to being in caves. It's just something that they gravitate towards. They're very masculine in energy. Typically, a lot of reptilian hybrids have a lot of addictions, whether it be addictions to pharmaceuticals, addictions to alcohol, but they're really kind of in the addictions. Just in general, reptilian hybrids can be quite mean without knowing it. A lot of sociopaths and psychopaths are absolutely reptilian hybrids. And once again, you can be a sociopath or a psychopath and still be a nice person, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. But those are the tendencies, sociopath, psychopath tendencies. Typically very outgoing, very charming. Also, oddly enough, reptilian hybrids have some pretty inept psychic abilities as well. It's just kind of a weird thing that they have. Like they are connected in a weird way. Reptilian hybrids typically like to cause chaos in society, and they are always striving for power, which means that they typically are in positions of power, whether that be, a celebrity or a musician or a news anchor or politics or what have you, okay? Also, last trait about a reptilian hybrid is they are meat eaters. They freaking are so much carnivore, like they just love meat. I don't know. And it's okay. If you love meat, it doesn't mean that you're a reptilian hybrid, okay? All right, cool. So hopefully that resonates with you. And like I said, I'm sure that some of you have met reptilian hybrids in your life because they're extremely common. To be honest, I would say that the two most common hybrids that I encounter are reptilian hybrids, just because they have higher than normal reptilian DNA. But once again, we all have all of these DNAs within us. And the second most common hybrid that I encounter is Palladian, of course. Okay, so let's talk about the gray hybrids. You may be a gray hybrid. I'm a gray hybrid, right? So you may be a gray hybrid and just not know it and kind of be freaked out by it because there's a lot of I don't want to say disinformation out there about the grays, but there's a lot of dark information out there about the grays. And I feel like in a lot of ways, I'm on this planet to help people open up a little bit more about the grays in general. Okay, so I'm just specifically talking about the good guys or the good grays with this. Typically, gray hybrids are really obsessed with genetics. They love DNA, right? They're obsessed with genetics and DNA, that's because grays are obsessed with genetics and DNA. Gray hybrids typically have a very high IQ. Gray hybrids are also very obsessed with advancing humanity, okay? Obsessed with advancing humanity. Gray hybrids are also very rational, very neutral, more of a masculine type of brain. Also, they are very drawn to quantum physics, astrophysics, and really any sort of physics. Very interesting. Yes, typically very objective. Gray hybrids love technology and gadgets, right? Anything to just improve the function of life, right? Anything to really, just improve the function of life, technology, advancement, gadgets. Also, grays really like and enjoy modern design, right? So if you were to design a house and you just in general really love modern design, that's going to be a gray hybrid for you. Also, gray hybrids can be very OCD. All right, I'm not personally OCD, and there's also like agoraphobia, right? So the fear of particles and other things, and I've got a little bit of that, to be honest. I don't like people breathing on me. It's weird. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, could be OCD or agoraphobia. Also, gray hybrids could have eating issues because they're not used to eating food. I definitely don't have an issue with that. And then also gray hybrids are very obsessed with telekinesis as well, right? So they're obsessed with moving things with their mind. I definitely have an obsession with that. Okay, cool. Last but not least, and before I get to the end here, just want to mention a couple of things. Obviously, guys, if you love this video and the content that I'm putting out there, please, please, please share this video. So many people out there have been questioning themselves. So many people need the answers. And maybe if it's not this video you share, you just share the channel as a whole. Make sure you subscribe, click the little notification button. And yeah, cool. I think that was it. All right. Oh yeah, also I have a special treat for all of you. I have a free alien quiz, and my beautiful assistant will publish that in just about 5 minutes after I go over the Palladian hybrids, okay? Yeah, super special treat for all of you. All right. So if you are a Palladian hybrid, and most likely you are because there's a lot of them, okay? Palladian hybrids are very balanced in general, really balanced between both masculine and feminine. Typically, Palladian hybrids are natural healers. Palladian hybrids are also natural leaders. They really want to be in that leadership position. Thank you for that super chat, Darren. And Palladian hybrids love to have a feeling of a mission, right? So they feel like they're here for a reason, and they've got a mission on this planet. Palladian hybrids have a desire to help humanity in general. Palladian hybrids have a very deep compassion for the planet, have a deep compassion for, nature and for living creatures. Palladian hybrids are empaths. They always put others before themselves, almost to a fault. Palladian hybrids are also very community-based. They want to gather the humans up. They want to, get people together and help humanity that way. Palladian hybrids are also very drawn to nature. They're typically animal lovers. Physically, Palladian hybrids will look very symmetrical. Not all Palladian hybrids. Sometimes I've met a Palladian hybrid who is literally like blonde hair, blue eyes, super symmetrical, and you can just tell right away. Other times, not so much, but that symmetry in the face is very typical of a Palladian. Palladian hybrids are very loyal, extremely loyal, and have a very, very strong sense of morality. Also, Palladian hybrids fight for justice, and absolutely, this is a strong word, but I'm going to say it, they hate injustice. Like, it just irks them to their core, right? Injustice. Palladian hybrids are crystal lovers, okay? They absolutely love crystals, obsessed with it. Their planets are full of crystals. Typically, Palladian hybrids, because they're such animal lovers, they're usually vegan or plant-based. Just because you're not doesn't mean you're not a Palladian hybrid. Palladian hybrids are humanitarians. They're typically entrepreneurs because they just want to, help humanity in any way that they can. And then also, last but not least, Palladian hybrids are very drawn to ancient Atlantis and ancient Lemuria. And if you're watching this and you haven't watched my Atlantean or Lemurian video, definitely check that out, because that could definitely heal a deep aspect of your soul as well. So I really hope that this video connected with your soul. The special gift that I have is a quiz. It's a free quiz, and it goes over all of the different species that I just talked about. However, instead of the angel as a species, I put in mantis as a species. And the reason why is because the angelic and the Palladian energies sometimes are so similar, it's difficult to differentiate. So below, my lovely assistant will be releasing the alien quiz below. You can take that right after this video, and definitely come back to this video, comment on the video, let me know what species you got in the alien quiz, and test your intuition, because you could think, oh, I'm really an Anunnaki based on this video, and then in the alien quiz, you're like, oh, but I'm really a mantis, and it's okay, you're probably both, if not more than that as well. So that's going to be really cool. Once again, check out Lily Rose Jewelry for these beautiful malas. I'm not an affiliate or anything. I seriously just believe in their brand. And these malas have so much beautiful energy to them. They really help me ground. They help me connect. All of that great stuff. Yeah, and also my Gaia interview, right? So I just got interviewed by Ruben Langdon, and it's called Interviews with ED, Interviews with Extra Dimensionals, and it is released today. So if you want to see me channel a 12th dimensional mantis being, and you want to see me channel an 8-foot tall gray ambassador being, then definitely check that out. If you don't have Gaia, there's a Gaia link in the live chat below. If you do have Gaia, the link to the videos is also below that my assistant is releasing. Yeah, last but not least, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for all of your beautiful donations, your super chats, your memberships, right? So if you guys do want to dive a little bit deeper and understand how to unlock your cosmic or interdimensional DNA, I am releasing a video for my YouTube members only on Thursday this week, which is going to be really powerful. I'm also releasing another interview on Friday and another video on Wednesday for everyone. So tons of free content for all of you. Definitely subscribe, and please, 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 please share this video. People need to know this video is here intentionally to wake you up and to unlock your DNA. It's time, and you're ready for it. And I'm so happy that all of you are here. So thank you so much, and I will see you next Monday for an incredible video all about sex, orgasm, tantra, and the manipulation that we've all had from the reptilians, unfortunately, surrounding sex, and why they've suppressed and traumatized us so deeply with sex in the past. All right, so check that out to unlock some of your trauma surrounding sex and to really open you up. Thank you guys so much for your super chats once again, and for your support and your love and good vibes all around. Have a beautiful rest of your Monday, and I'll be back. I'll be back around. Bye for now.